leading the way with important local coverage. You're watching WISN 12 News at 10.
Kyle Rittenhouse takes the stand.
There were 3 people right there.
The emotional testimony and the heated exchange between the prosecutor and the judge that led to a request for a mistrial. An Amazon truck split in half, the driver barely injured. 12 News talks to a passenger stuck on the train for hours. And the CMA Awards with Milwaukee winners.
You guys have won the CMA Broadcast Award.
The trio of radio hosts who beat the DJs in Nashville and other cities across the country.
That's right, run.
Kyle Rittenhouse broke down on the stand today while trying to defend his actions the night in Kenosha. He shot 3 men, killing 2 of them. Rittenhouse's emotional testimony was one of several dramatic moments that played out in the courtroom today.
And our team will take you through them, including the judge's strong words for the prosecutor and the defense's call for a mistrial. First 12 News' Ben Wagner is in Kenosha with Rittenhouse's testimony.
In a high-stakes move Wednesday, Kyle Rittenhouse took the stand to explain in his own words why he shot 3 men last August, killing 2.
I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself.
The Illinois teen said he was in Kenosha that night armed with an AR-15 rifle to offer first aid and protect businesses. Rittenhouse broke down, explaining why he shot Joseph Rosenbaum, the first man killed, setting off the chaos of that night.
There were 3 people right there.
Rittenhouse claimed Rosenbaum threatened him twice earlier in the evening. Later, he says Rosenbaum ambushed him, grabbed the barrel of his gun before he shot him 4 times.
He was chasing me. I was alone. He threatened to kill me earlier in that night. I didn't want to have to shoot him.
Rittenhouse spent much of the day under fierce cross-examination from prosecutor Thomas Binger.
Everybody that you shot at that night, you intended to kill, correct?
I didn't intend to kill them. I intended to stop the people who were attacking me.
By killing them?
I did what I had to do to stop the person who was attacking me.
Binger tried to paint the then 17-year-old as a vigilante who put himself in the dangerous situation that led to gunfire. Rittenhouse later shot and killed Anthony Huber and wounded Gage Grosskreutz.
You never once offer to help anybody that you just shot, correct?
I don't.
Through it all, Rittenhouse's mom, emotional with her son on the stand. Kyle Rittenhouse faces life in prison if convicted on the most serious charges. And now that Rittenhouse is off of the witness stand, the defense attorneys say they have 3 more witnesses left to call. The judge told the jury today he expects this trial to wrap up, Patrick, by early next week.
And the trial resumes in the morning. Ben Wagner in Kenosha tonight. Judge Bruce Schrader took issue twice today with the prosecution's line of questioning.
You've also had the opportunity to listen to the testimony of all 30-some witnesses that have testified in this trial so far, correct?
Yes.
And after all of that, now you are telling us your side of the story, correct?
I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that.
Judge Schrader also raised his voice when prosecutor Thomas Binger seemed to allude to a piece of video the judge had previously ruled the jury would not see.
First of all, Your Honor, this was the subject of a motion. I'm well aware of that. And the court left the door open.
For me, not for you.
My understanding of
You should have come and asked for reconsideration.
Our legal expert, Craig Mastantuono, joins us now. Craig, what do you make of the judge's tone and the scolding?
Well, it doesn't take a legal analyst to figure out that the judge is quite upset, right? And the reason that he's quite upset is because the prosecutor in this case, in the judge's opinion, wandered right into an area that's never to be asked questions about or commented about, which is the defendant's right to remain silent. It's a constitutional privilege that can't be used against him, and prosecutor inquiries in that regard are always inappropriate.
The defense also took issue with the prosecution's questioning and even said prosecutor Thomas Binger's actions were done in, quote, bad faith. Let's listen.
Then I think both elements for mistrial with prejudice have been met. And I think under the circumstances, based on what I've put forth on the record, I would certainly ask the court to consider those. And I would ask the court grant the motion with prejudice.
Okay, it's my understanding that with prejudice means if a mistrial is granted, Rittenhouse cannot be retried. The judge took that under advisement. If he were going to grant that motion, wouldn't he have decided right then and there?
Not necessarily. He may have just needed further time to think about it, think about ways that the record could be corrected through either a subsequent instruction, informing the jury what occurred and whose fault it was, or maybe even awaiting the outcome of certain verdicts to see whether they're acquittals and then having the option of declaring a mistrial if they're not. Either way, what the defense is saying in its motion is this is a bad trial, it's the prosecutor's fault, and it shouldn't come back.
Do you think that the testimony humanized Kyle Rittenhouse to the jurors?
Well, he certainly had that moment, right, where he broke down sobbing when recalling on direct examination his interaction with Mr. Rosenbaum. And it's interesting, I was gauging some of my students this evening at Marquette Law School on whether or not they thought that was a genuine response, their perception of it. And it seemed to be a skeptical room, whereas I thought, and some colleagues that I spoke with earlier in the day thought that this seemed to be genuine. And so it shows you that jurors or people can have mixed opinions on these things, and that's what deliberation is about.
Craig Mastantuono, thank you for your insight tonight.
Supporters of both sides rallied outside the courthouse today. 12 News' Caroline Ronwald reports from Kenosha.
Say Anthony and JoJo! Anthony and JoJo!
Across the street from the courthouse in Civic Center Park, ralliers called Kyle Rittenhouse's testimony Wednesday a circus act.
This team scripted him, they trained him, it was court theatrics. The fact of the matter is, this is not a play, this is not a rehearsal. 2 people were killed that night, and he should be held accountable for all of it.
Holding candles, saying prayers, the ralliers spoke about the night Rittenhouse shot 3 people, killing 2 of them.
Why did a 17-year-old come to Kenosha armed with a gun?
At the end of this case, we want everybody to know that this city, county, and state has blood on their hands.
Rittenhouse supporters were also nearby. One told me she's praying for him and his family.
He was acting in self-defense, and I believe that's clear.
What did you think about his testimony today?
I could see that he is exhausted.
Probably Rittenhouse's biggest supporter, his mother, teary-eyed in court, tight-lipped leaving. Mrs. Rittenhouse, what did you think about Kyle on the stand today? What did you think about Kyle on the stand today? Any comments? Now, I just got off the phone with Justin Blake, Jacob Blake's uncle. He tells me that he will continue to be outside the courthouse every day of the trial, though their larger protests and demonstrations and rallies are planned for Friday and Saturday of this week.
And the unrest in Kenosha last year followed the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Caroline, thank you.
What was going through your mind at this particular moment?
That I was going to die.
Gage Grosskreutz testified Monday. He's the only man shot by Rittenhouse to survive. Grosskreutz will be on Good Morning America tomorrow. GMA starts at 7 right after 12 News this morning.
Breaking news now, a double fatal shooting in Brown Deer. These are live pictures from Dean and Meadowside. That's off North Teutonia. Brown Deer police are only saying a, quote, altercation led to the shootings. They say there is no threat to the community. 12 News is continuing to gather more information at the scene, and we'll pass it along to you when we can. News Chopper 12 video shows an Amazon delivery truck wrapped around the front of an Amtrak train. The driver was barely injured. It happened on River Valley Road near Highway 16 in Ixonia. 12 News' Courtney Siss talked to train passengers about what they felt at impact.
An Amtrak train split an Amazon delivery truck in half. The back end traveled with the train, but that front end, the driver's seat, remained at the intersection. Officials say it's a miracle the driver is alive. News Chopper 12 caught the aftermath from above Ixonia, and on the ground, a severed truck and Amazon Prime package debris covered the tracks.
He got lucky.
We spoke over the phone with a passenger on board that train.
And everyone kind of jolted around, but didn't think much of it. And then a few minutes later, we kind of rolled to a stop. Shortly after, there was a smell. It smelled kind of like burning engine.
It was the Amazon driver, but the driver is okay. It's just that the back half of his car is on front of the engines.
All 129 passengers on the train were okay and continued their trip 4 hours after the crash. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says the Amtrak struck the van as the driver tried to cross. There's no gate or flashing lights, just a stop sign and crossbuck. Neighbors nearby say it's a dangerous intersection.
When you go into the main part of Ixonia, I mean, when there are cross guards and the lights go on when there are trains coming through, so that would actually make it feel safer at least.
In Ixonia, Courtney Sisk, WISN 12 News.
Weather Watch 12, our streak of nice weather is coming to an end.
Mark, first it's rain, then the cold and snow.
And we'll throw some wind on there too. Just make it real nice and comfortable. Yeah, it has come to an end. We've had really nice weather about 6 days in a row, but now we're going to deal with the rain. We've had a couple of light showers here and there, and that's still possible overnight. But the main event, that's going to be coming in tomorrow morning. And tomorrow, it's just rain that we're dealing with. Temperatures tonight actually staying mild, hanging around in the mid-50s. Rain on the way. How much you can expect when that rain changes to snow coming up in Weather Watch 12.
Reports of violent threats against Wisconsin election officials are growing.
Now, federal investigators are facing calls to do something about it. 12 News' Matt Smith investigates tomorrow night at 10.
I really sincerely hope you get what's coming to you, you fraudulent.
Clerks threatened from Democratic counties like Milwaukee to Republicans here in Fond du Lac County. Clerks saying the conspiracy theories and the false claims of the 2020 presidential election still persist.
I did see a post recently on Facebook, we really should get involved and then we can take care of this scenario. And I'm thinking to myself, take care of what?
Thursday night at 10, the threats and what's being done, the police investigations, and how clerks say we move forward.
It was like, yes, finally, we got it off our back and got the win.
A Milwaukee trio just won a Country Music Association award. Next, the radio talent that beat out Nashville and other cities. Plus, our expert breaks down the night's other winners.
A quick programming note, because of our Kyle Rittenhouse trial coverage, General Hospital will air overnight tonight at 2:05.
Hey there, I'm Diana Gutierrez. Tomorrow on 12 News This Morning, it's Veterans Day, how Southeast Wisconsin plans to honor the brave men and women who put their lives on the line to defend our country. Lindsay?
And I'm tracking the potential of our first flakes of the season, and things are getting a little bit soggy for your Thursday. I'll talk more about this coming up on the news starting at 4:30.